Hello world.
Hello.
We're here in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Yes.
Constitution Hill.
Yeah.
So we're actually here, to actually talk about tourism and the importance of tourism really in our continent, and with us looking to further build our economy here in Africa.
So today we're happy to be making a video based on tourism, and shout out to also at the Constitution Hill. Apparently, it's the home of the South African Constitution. It's this constitutional court. So that's basically a special place for us because that's where our rights come through. But man, we're just gonna dive into tourism, and its possible impacts, very. So
tourism in Africa is actually one of the biggest contributors to our GDP. Usually somewhere around either before or near agriculture. So agriculture and tourism, just to highlight the importance of the two in our continent, and to speak about further opportunities of tourism in our continent, regarding with looking at the climate of things in the world, of how so many people in other parts of the world are actually moving from being in poverty to actually being middle class and actually having disposable income. That means that more and more people are able to move. So we've seen recently, India has moved a lot of people from below the poverty line into the middle income. China also has undergone their industrial revolution, and they now have a lot more people in income. Essentially, there's also Europe and America that also have quite big middle classes themselves. So essentially, if we look at the change of maybe the last 25 years, there's been an increase of the market. The tourism market has basically increased by almost 2 billion people. So that's actually like a very substantial amount of people. Meaning that more people, there's going to be more demand for tourism, and essentially that supply must be put in.
Can also mention with the fast growing population is also about to grow. Also with the changing nature of jobs are becoming more remote now. Now people like you say, a lot of people in China and India have been. It's usually China and India's government have managed to make most of its citizens middle income or like a greater number. I'm not really sure about that. So also not with that, because now with middle income came a certain type of jobs whereby it was an everyday you go to work thing. But also with the fourth industrial revolution coming through, the nature of jobs is changing. Jobs are becoming more remote, which frees the people into more traveling now, and which boosts the tourism industry of many countries, especially Africa itself, because that's where most people are interested in. That's like the origin of species, the origin of mankind. Understand? So people want to know more about themselves, and every time they come to Africa, they're gonna come with a different perspective. You know what I mean? And also this wrong narrative that people have on Africa is also gonna die as well. You know what I mean? But then also the biggest get away from that. The biggest bonus when they come to is the nature of the changing perspective, and also knowing your roots and all those things. So I think like people will go to their works and to their facilities, being different people, being inspired people, thanks to African tourism at large. So
definitely. And Vele, what you talk about the fourth industrial revolution, Vele, is actually going to affect tourism, because Vele, it frees people. You can be here in Africa, enjoying a holiday, but you still be able to actually go online and actually get your work done, meet your deadline, like you say, and actually with also further going into another market is Africa itself. Like Africa is actually not so long ago signed what is called the Continental Free Trade Agreement. So what this is actually gonna come with is actually gonna come with the free movement of people throughout Africa. Meaning that it's actually going to aid tourism, because now a person doesn't need to apply for visas and whatnot. They can just simply leave and actually go to another country in Africa and enjoy the scenery around it. So that's actually going to open up a 1.2 billion people market. And then also thinking, growing on that, around 8 of the fastest growing economies in the world are in Africa, meaning that our middle class is also growing, meaning more and more Africans are gaining disposable income. More and more Africans will decide, okay, let me go and see my continent. So further growing the possible market of tourism.
And also that allows Africans to also explore Africa within, because Africa is a huge continent that boasts of like 53 countries. So already within ourselves, you don't really even need to go overseas to have rich traveling experiences. You know what I mean? I think this growing economy of tourism will enable other countries within themselves to also boost their own economic, so that we can travel around Africa as Africans. You know what I mean? It's not just us accepting like tourists from other nations, which is also what would like to happen. But then we also want to encourage inter-African or intra-African tourism. You know what I mean? So like
everyone is welcome. Our brothers from Africa, our brothers from Europe, our brothers from America, our brothers and sisters from China, Brazil,
Australia, Japan,
Asia, everywhere.
Also, what I like about this tourism is also about to promote culture exchange, because it's not just about the seeing of the places and whatnot, but also experiencing the rich cultures that Africa has, or whatever city you are traveling. That particular aspect, I feel like it has that nurturing viewpoint. You know what I mean? From the soul, it's soul reaching. Traveling is soul reaching. Traveling is another way of educating yourself. You know what I mean? There's no better way of learning than traveling. So
definitely.
It's bound to. That's why we are here to encourage the viewers to take tourism seriously and also see yourself in it, because it's gonna be a lucrative market. It's gonna boast a lot of things, you know what I mean?
Very lucrative market. Actually, like talking about the lucrativity of the market. It's like looking at a country like that we are in, South Africa, with such high unemployment rates. You know, it offers jobs really to decrease the unemployment rates. And on top of that, it also offers the opportunity for us to actually also grow our economy. Because if you think about it, we have some tourists coming through, and then they buy from that local artist who carved something out of wood. You know, that allows him to concentrate more on his craft, and then maybe going forward he can rent a studio as he gains his income, and then from there he can actually start to employ other artists. So that's actually going at eradicating that high unemployment rate we've got in South Africa. Well, we're thinking about, let's say maybe there's informal seller who sells, let's say she sells spinach on the side of the road, and then as more people come through and buy from her, she can actually now start to broaden her a market where she can maybe start growing mango, growing bananas, and then from that maybe she actually buys, she's able to rent her own place and get a place of her own. Now she's actually able to even start hiring more people, which actually works to actually boosting our market and creating new jobs.
Basically, you're touching on the amount of industries that tourism is likely to affect, because it's going to affect a lot of industries, you know what I mean? From even the transport industry as well, you know, the guest houses, the hotel industry, hospitality as well, because, you know, it also allows other hotels to probably allow other people to maybe host there. Even for hotels to even be built, doesn't even have to be hotels as much, also guest houses, also from a small scale. So tourism will affect everyone in that industry. So that's why it's important for everyone to sort of shape yourself around whatever you're doing. You don't really have to be a tourist, a tour guide for you to be in tourism industry, or for you to even benefit from that. Also, the power of tourism is the socio-economic impacts, because so places like the Kruger National Park, like where there's like wildlife and all of those things. So whatever proceeds they make, they also ensure that those proceeds are used to better the entire surrounding community. The people who are surrounding the education system that's there, they use the same proceeds. In fact, I'm saying they're supposed to be using the same proceeds to better the education of the people. So that's just how the tourism can go beyond just attracting tourists, and then it just becomes like that. Also our airports, our airline industries, with more tourism coming through, that's also affected, you know what I mean? So the point here is that you don't really need to be in tourism for you to leverage.
Go on speaking about game reserves and everything, it actually now speaks about the importance of conservation and conservation as an industry, because like these nice elephants and these lions that we have in Africa, you don't find it everywhere in the world. These deers, or all this biodiversity that we have in our continent, you don't find everywhere in the world. That is actually a big reason why you get people, you know, from outside. They are used to, you know, the concrete jungle. They are not quite, they don't quite have as big as a biodiversity as we do. But when they came, that actually attracts them here. And actually, when you think about it, when they come, it offers conservation as an industry as well. Because when you think about it, there are issues like poaching, you know, that threaten our biodiversity. And actually, with more people coming and seeing places like the Kruger National Park, the Kruger National Park, what it's able to do is that with that money that is coming in, is able to hire more people around to be game scouts, you know, more people around to, you know, to be tour guides, more people around to,
and those are fulfilling jobs. Being a wildlife scout,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's actually nicer than, you know, being in a factory, working a machine, and all those things. You know what I mean? That's, you know, I feel like it's also gonna improve the quality of jobs and the niceness of jobs. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I feel like in the tourism industry, you know, you're dealing with people. You know, if you're a person who likes people, you're a person who likes to interact with people, interact with different people. You know, it's definitely the job for you.
You actually reminded me of the importance of like how tourism, when tourists come through, this thing of our indigenous plants, the importance of our indigenous plants as well. It also encourages more people to plant original plants, so that when tourists actually come here, they actually even find African food that has been, cultivated in Africa. You know what I mean? That has a taste that's African and African only. So it's definitely gonna bolster a lot of things.
Definitely. Well, when you speak about that, actually, you know, these are more mouths coming through, meaning that our production actually must actually increase. Meaning it's also affecting the agricultural industry.
Yeah.
Our farmers are now getting more because they obviously we must produce something for our tourists to eat while they are here. That's the importance of actually us even, you know, cultivating our indigenous plants and cultivating the foods that our indigenous foods you know, because it's part of our history, part of our culture that we must also, you know, project to the world. This is African, you know. Take an experience. So if you like our video, you know, you can like down below. You can check out our website.
Down in the description as well.
Down in the description, you can
subscribe as well.
Subscribe,
you know, share the video as well. Put a comment, maybe. You know, if also you visited South Africa as well, or Africa at large, let us know where exactly.
Share experiences.
You know what I mean? But hope you like the hope you can also come to Constitution as well. You know what I mean? Hope you like what we've shown you so far. And man, think tourism. Peace.